Where are these guys at? It's time to start the podcast. We're running late. I'm in the photo studio. You know what? I bet they're down in here. They've been in here so much. Hold on, let me see this. Oh, hey, Nate.
Whoa, this thing is cold as fuck. This podcast is brought to you by Access Machine Works. Go see those guys for all your machining needs.
What's up, guys? We got the Uplifting podcast today. We're taking it out to new heights, new levels. Y'all just make sure to stay with us. I'm sorry, I'm winded right now. Been in a steam sauna for about 20 now. Y'all catch us in the studio. Welcome to the Wolf Den, guys. Today we have a special episode. We have a fellow podcaster / MBA student that's joining us today from Nicholls State University, Mr. Casey Crutchfield.
Yes, sir.
What's happening? What's happening? You said NBA or NBA?
NBA. Oh, it's a.
No, you said it right. I thought you were saying like he plays basketball. But oh, you said NBA.
No, I mean,
right.
Hey, wait.
I make sure.
Yeah,
Look, does he?
I mean,
No, I don't know. Is he that kind of athlete? I don't know.
Nah. But for real, thank y'all for having me. So I'm actually getting. It's called Clinical Mental Health Program. MBA is more like business associated.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just thinking to myself. I was thinking to myself like
good.
what I would go and get, right?
But
I'm tripping. What is it like technically really called?
So it's called this Department of Clinical Mental Health.
Okay.
And basically it's a 2.5-year program. Goes through the summer, unfortunately, so no summer break, but just kind of prepping you to become a LPC, which is a licensed professional counselor. And that's the end game, really.
Well, there's a plenty of them. People need some help out there.
Everyone
Yeah.
See, they got some wild ass people.
No, I mean, so like, it's like what you're aiming for, like the contact sport type deal, like CTE guys, or
really anyone, man. There's one of my favorite NFL players, AJ Brown.
Uh-huh.
He opened up. I keep saying I apologize, but
no, go ahead, dude. You can talk, man.
I forgot what podcast or something it was on, but he opened up and kind of expressed like at one point that he just kind of wanted to end things and like how he felt depressed, even though, you're making all this money, you got everything really, but on the inside, just because you have those materialistic things doesn't really mean that you have everything all figured out.
It doesn't really mean like you're whole.
Yeah. And so he just kind of opened up how he went to therapy and how much that helped. And so I kind of want to be in that position one day. And that's why my goal really is to open up my own clinic, just bringing, I don't care, NFL, NBA, NHL, WNBA, we'll take them all.
Yeah. So like what a lot of people don't know, I'm sure, I guess nobody really would know, but Casey actually goes to the same gym as me. What, you've been going to the wellness center for how long?
I've been going to the wellness since I've been in 10th grade. And
So
I'm already 4 years after college and I'm a year into grad school. So
damn, I didn't realize it was that long. Over 7 years, because I've been going since it started.
Yeah, I know. Right when it opened, that's when I started.
And I know I saw you a lot in there, but like we just never really connected or anything. You just kind of. I'm
just a classic gym guy. You walk in, you see another guy in the gym. Classic head nod.
Keep on going, whatever. But nah, man, I see you grinding in there, and I think that's gonna like do well for you, just because I see you in that industry, kind of like you love the fitness industry part of things, and then whenever you go ahead and you put the mental, like the mentality side of things too.
No, I definitely it keeps me disciplined too, I guess. And my dad was also a football coach, so I've been around like sports and everything pretty much all my life. And so just kind of seeing things from an outside perspective almost, it definitely kind of adds a little bit of help for sure.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
What?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, all I was going to say was, man, that's crazy because I know a couple other people that are doing the whole psychology thing, and they're telling me, like, you thinking it's just simple as trying to figure something out, but there's so much more that goes into it.
Definitely.
I mean, look, just the different aspects, the way they can get people to kind of answer questions in a way that you can kind of figure out but they don't really know.
Yeah.
You're kind of not so much manipulating, but like kind of
in a way, yeah.
In a way, you're trying to figure out. I mean, look, the mind's a complex thing. The way it works.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No.
So I actually have a sociology degree.
Okay.
So like I'm big into it, and right, I guess that's why we're kind of so successful with what we do. We analyze on what a group of people
Yeah.
are doing and social trends, right, and why they're reacting to the things that they're reacting to, right.
Hmm.
That's what I'm really interested in too. So I want to like actually hear more about like what on your side of things, like what are some things that you're gonna do to help these guys? Do you know of that already? Are you at that point yet? Or you just know like this is your goal, this is what you want to do. Now you're trying to build the building blocks to get there.
So I think that's a great question, by the way. But I think one of like the best things about psychology in general is that everyone is so different. Like if I'd go to counsel you, it'd be completely different to where if I was counseling you. No, everyone has their own situation and things click differently, I guess you could say. So one thing that I like to do is first, I think the most important thing now, some counselors, and I ain't no counselor yet, I still got a lot to go.
Yeah.
Right.
But I find like the first thing that's always important, just based off the practice we did, is just helping them understand that you're there to help them and just kind of being opening because that's when you find like people open up more to you.
But you want me to tell you something crazy? So like throughout life, I had to go and they tried to set me up with therapy stuff like as a kid and all I dealt with. My mom and dad divorced, yada yada, acted out in
Uh-huh.
school, whatever. And I was acting out in school, right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I was really just a badass kid who had a lot on his mind and I have ADHD and they didn't know how to really contain that
yeah,
right. And all the teachers that know me to this day and stuff, they like, yeah, like we know you was gonna do big things and stuff. Like
yeah.
we just so
No,
I was a
no.
typical that type of kid, right? Well, one of my mom's answers and shit was to like get me therapy and like offer it through the school and shit. And I was just like, I'm always closed off.
Yeah.
What you want me to talk about my feelings to you right now? Like, not. So I
Yeah,
always looked
and
at it
that's
as a
always the
thing.
stigma, yeah. I'll
Exactly.
actually tell you a story about that. So, the whole way that, like, this all started, I guess, is and we kinda touched on this on my podcast, but, when I turned 16, I got in a bad car accident, and I ended up getting diagnosed with epilepsy. And,
Really? So the car
yeah.
accident triggered that?
Yeah, so for
Damn.
I'll tell the backstory on
Oh
that
man,
too, we
that's
can get a
wild.
whole story.
But wait, you
So
no wait, but you don't just get like you had to have that, right? Or no,
What do
like
you mean you had
what
to
you
have
mean?
you
that?
had like you had that genetic prior or
No,
So
so
like nobody in your family has that?
nope,
Really?
nope.
oh, so this is like a thing that you
Yeah.
get from a trauma response
Yeah,
or something?
so I'll explain what
Okay.
happened. So I was 16, like I said. Ironically, I was driving my mom's it was like a 2015 Mustang. She won it out of a contest. I swear
Dude, this is
she
already
won
sounding
it,
like
yeah.
like a
So
crazy story happening
yeah,
already.
so she won it out of contest, and I always say this whenever money's good, I'm gonna buy my mom that same car. It's kind of like a IOU.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, so she won it, and I was blessed enough. She let me drive it to school because I was living in Basher at the time, and I'd go to Edie White and all of that, and she was in St. James, so she actually drove my grandpa's car to school every day, a Grand Marquis. So, that's a
Yeah.
big
Well,
difference from a
yeah.
Mustang.
And she was like, "You
So
drive the
she let
Mustang?"
me drive the
Oh,
Mustang.
dude, you gotta
So,
bless. You
mom, I
better,
love you.
yeah, you better tell you,
I
yeah.
I love her to death. She's my best friend for sure. But anyway, so I was driving that, and obviously, you feel like the man when you're driving
Well,
a
yeah.
you're 16 driving a Mustang. Like I felt like I was the fucking man.
And this guy, no. All right, no.
Music,
Hey,
music down.
and
Oh,
then
that
no,
man,
all right,
wow,
no.
that man felt
Hey,
like the
hey,
man so much.
no,
You
no,
know?
like he was in
Hold on.
Thibodeau, and I know you was probably going down Nichols Road. You know what I'm talking about? I know you were riding right there, dragging right there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I felt like $1,000,000 I couldn't ride.
Now his fucking mom
Yeah.
knows the real
Oh,
story.
yeah. She gonna be like, what
She's
was
like,
that?
I knew he was
I
fucking
knew
hot
it was
rodding my
that.
shit.
Yeah. She had me on Life 360
Oh.
too, so
Oh,
she
so
knew
she
the
knew the
speed.
speed that you were going.
Don't worry, I put that cellular on. Turned that cellular on. When I
Airplane
need to
mode.
stand on business, airplane mode. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. So after a couple months of driving, never forget it, like it was yesterday. I was sleeping at a friend's house in Thibodeau, And the next day I was helping my stepdad. Shout out my stepdad. I was helping him wash his boat. Got a nice bass cat or whatever. I'm not big into boats, so I don't know if those
Nice
are,
fishing boat.
yeah, nice fishing boat.
Yeah.
And so I woke up that morning. It was kind of early, like 6. Go help him out, and I probably remember about like a mile of the drive. And they seeing how I wake up, I'm in the hospital. I'm like, what?
You was drunk?
No, I just woke up. Just woke up. Was a little tired. I mean, we stayed.
So wait, you don't even remember like you
To
went from?
drive? Yeah.
So I remember pulling out like of his street and like just driving, and then I wake up and like I feel like I got in a crash. Like was so woozy, and so I went to call my mom, and I actually called one of my friends on accident. I was like, "Mom, like we just got in a car accident." Not mom. This is not mom.
Oh shit.
God,
So
Mom.
go to the hospital, whatever. I'm gonna show you a picture once we finish the pod, but the car was fucked. Like
Oh my
it was
God.
total. Like GG's. And come to find
Where,
out later.
where you wrecked?
Kind of close by Thibodeau High.
Mhm.
I don't know the exact street.
Just like on one of those
Yeah,
back roads.
yeah. So it's closer to the green Walmart though. So like if you're driving on that curve, you can either go
Right.
this way
or
and
go
go
straight.
down.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're at.
So right there, and we couldn't really figure out what happened because like I really didn't remember. I was like, I mean, I guess I fell asleep, but
That's a
I mean,
dangerous little spot though, right
yeah,
there,
yeah.
especially for cars turning on coming off of
Mhm.
Oakley. Because
And it was an old man too. He hit me with a Tundra, Toyota Tundra. So
Oh, so there's multiple. I
yeah,
was thinking
hit
maybe you
someone
just
else.
like ran
No,
up. Oh, okay.
we went head on.
oh
We went head
man,
on.
head
So did they
on.
determine whose fault it was?
I mean, at the time they just said it was mine because
Well, yeah,
I mean
you
I
were
didn't know what happened.
incapacitated.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's easy blame.
and it's crazy because like I knew I didn't fall asleep at the wheel because like, and I guess I can get how some people do that, but I'm not the type of person to fall asleep at the wheel.
No,
Like, that's just
look,
not me.
but I'll be real with you, dude.
There's times when I felt tired for sure, and
Dude.
I've said that, and then like times
Look.
later on,
Oh,
I've been
look,
like,
I ain't gonna lie,
damn,
that's some real shit. Like
Dude.
I'll look. Sometimes we'll be driving from these late jobs.
it could get there. Yeah,
Listen.
no.
I was so tired. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. Me and Wendell, we coming back from the shop, and dude, all of a sudden, matter of fact, it was golden medal. Man, I'm sleeping. I wake up and I'm like, bruh. I said, get in the fucking other lane. You're in the. He's like, bro, chill out. No, we're not.
He's thinking he's
I
right.
thought he was. I was like, hey, I was tripping because like we had worked for like I don't know
For 20
13,
hours,
14
yeah.
hours straight, and I was just like out of it.
Yeah.
But that shit'll get you.
No, it does.
Whenever I was running like roofs and shit, and all the way to Lake Charles and shit, dude, I swear to
That's
God, I was coming back and I was driving, and there would be times.
But you nod off.
No, I was like driving, and there was literally time, and I wasn't drinking energy drinks at this time, so I didn't really think to let me stop at the gas station,
You
pop
have
open
a
a
ghost.
yeah,
or anything.
right. So I was literally fighting through this shit, and then there was like 2 times I remember prominently. I had to stop on the side of the road, and I was just like, I took a little nap, and it was only because I was doing some stupid shit. I was driving all the way to Lake Charles, going to do all of that, selling these roofs, and then I would come back home and party all night with DJ and everybody. Right? They always had they had 1 million people at the house, so I was
might have been that one.
yeah,
time
that you might have been there or whatever.
I
but,
told him on my podcast, I said, it's crazy you said that you lived with DJ because that was the first college party I ever went to.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
we had some crazy parties.
So
in
what
that
DJ
house.
was like the central like party spot.
It seemed
Yeah,
like that's what
I
they told. I think I showed up not late to the party, but like I was kind of there on one of the last couple ones because I'm a lot younger.
So
than
yeah,
them,
so
but
like
I did get to experience.
Yeah, so
a
I was-
DJ Robo Show party.
I was
so.
already like always in the middle of things and all, and honestly, like this wasn't even my group of people. Like I just kind of ended up being in the middle of their shit too. But I didn't throw none of those. Like just be honest with you, like DJ threw those parties, and like
Yeah.
DJ had all the people, and I was really a big party guy. And I mean, yeah, I would go up and I would cut up and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
But dude, I was throwing just as big or even bigger parties before that. And then I move over there, and then I'm just experiencing it all over
Yeah.
again. And I'm graduated college, and I'm like, fuck. And I was just like, I'm getting tired and all, but it ended up getting better and shit. And it got to where we ended up, he graduated college, and we chilled out and shit. And then I ended up getting my own place or whatever. So
yeah. But oh shit, man, we went on a whole tangent.
No,
I forgot
no,
about
it's
this
happens.
story.
It's
No,
always
yeah,
happens.
hey, it happens. But so at the time they just said, you know what, you fell asleep at the wheel. Okay.
Damn,
So,
that's crazy. You must have been
Yeah.
thinking like,
Well,
damn.
well,
man.
obviously. So we move on a couple weeks. Not even a couple weeks. I'd say maybe a week and a half. My mom just got a new car, Nissan Rogue, which I drove later on, but we'll get to that part.
Man, she's still letting
So-
you drive cars, huh?
Yeah.
She's crazy.
No,
I was about to say-
no, for real. My mom
Well,
really
you must
loves
have been
me,
scared
like,
as shit to ask her, Mom, can I borrow the car?
Can I
She'd be
borrow
like,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
He's like, yeah, I'm still
yeah.
I'm still thinking about
Yeah.
that.
So about a week later, I'd say that was gonna be the first time I was gonna drive to school like that next day. Well, I was in the shower or something and I had a seizure.
And that was your first one.
Well, they started kind of like I had that one. No, mom took care of me. This is when it was just me and my mom before she got back with her husband. But it happened like 2 or 3 more times. Like not
You was like
that
falling,
day, but
you were
like
falling on the ground and stuff, like
yeah,
falling in the mouth,
like not. I
Hey,
don't
let
think
me-
I foam at the mouth, but like my eyes and stuff, and like
Rolling
I would
back.
get all.
Did you forget
tense.
like what happened?
I don't
after?
know what happens, and after like it's just a big headache, and like it drains out all your like
That's
energy.
crazy.
That's
Like you just
crazy.
like I just feel like I gotta go lie
Hey,
down.
you think it was like something underlying and you maybe had that in the car?
Well, yeah, that's what I was asking. That's what I was asking.
So obviously it kept happening. So we went to the hospital, and they were like, that's when they kind of connected like 2 and 2. Like it was definitely.
That's crazy.
So when I got in the accident, that was the first one. So it really wasn't my fault at that
Right.
point. So, you know, I'm in Children's Hospital, probably, I was 16, like I said, and went to do like a CAT scan or an MRI, whatever it was. I think it was actually an EEG. I just named all the other wrong ones.
Just
but
all the alphabets.
yeah, but they were like, yeah, you have, it's called JME. I don't know the long version, but it's epilepsy, a type of epilepsy. And man, I was down because like, you know, they said like you can't drive like for 6 months whenever,
Oh yeah.
unless you like, until you don't have another one, you can't drive for 6 months. So, you know, like
Are
I
you
said,
serious? Wait, so you have to like you can't.
you have to wait 6 months. Like if I had one right now, I'd have to wait 6 months to drive.
Yeah, they'll like take your they'll put your license.
Yeah.
on suspension.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
suspend
yeah.
your license. Well, yeah.
Well,
Because you got to think you're
no,
you're technically a liability
You are,
to
you
the
are.
road.
But did you see those new car features though? Not to switch subjects.
Yeah.
But they got like I think it's the Volkswagen or something like that now that's been like
Oh,
put
it'll
it
like
out.
pull you over.
No, it'll stop like it detects.
It'll like put it in
Yeah,
neutral and
and
like
then
kind of.
Yeah, it coasts to the side.
it detects and then it closes you to the side.
Yeah.
And then they realize it's like, and I don't know why, like they got some type of in camera system and it could like just tell that
Yeah.
something's not right. And it could be, I guess, either from a seizure or if somebody passes
Or
out.
they're just not
Yeah.
paying attention.
Yeah, they're just not paying attention, whatever the case may be.
But you know what's crazy? So going back to that same little event you had,
Mhm.
I experienced something, not myself, but so this was the craziest thing. I was at my grandparents' house one day, and they live kind of out, you know, there's a kind of a major road in town, you know, right there off a park. Well, they, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm going to get the mail. Well, all of a sudden I hear this, the engine is revving up, and this car's like just. I mean, it almost was like I couldn't figure out. I'm like, is this dude doing something intentional? Like, I didn't know what was happening. Dude just ran straight off the road, come cutting across like half the yard, and just smokes his pole.
Yeah.
I'm like, did this just happen in
Shit.
front of me? So I run to this guy. Okay, this other lady stops. I open the door. I'm like, oh shit, the dude's like having a seizure. I'm like, oh shit. So the lady, like, we had to grab something, like put it in his mouth to where he kind of was. He was biting down like super
Yeah,
hard.
there's
So-
people who like will bite their
Oh,
tongue
they'll
off.
bite their tongue off. So he was like
Yeah.
trying. He was like almost like he was like suffocating himself. He was swallowing his tongue.
Like you just don't realize.
Dude,
it?
we
Is it
had to
like a
we had to
natural
find
response?
something to put in his mouth to
No,
where
but that's what I'm saying. Is that like just a natural response?
Yeah, I
Like,
get- well, everything
because
locked
you're so locked.
it
Ah.
locked up. So look, we had to help him, and dude, after he kind of came to, I had to move his foot off the pedal, bro. It was still just rearing up, and the
Wheels.
wheels were just spinning.
Yeah.
I had to take his foot off the pedal, shut the car off, and like it was wild. And then look, so finally the ambulance showed up, and then they kind of took over. But I'm like, how quick does that happen? Like, if somebody
Yeah.
was standing there, he just ran him over.
And then you just don't even remember.
And look, he
No,
didn't. He didn't know.
nothing.
Like, he was out of it. He didn't know anything that was going on.
Nothing at all. Like I can probably tell you like the events prior, and then like anything like 5 minutes and after is like nah. But anyways, I don't know. Yeah. So we go from being the man in the in the Mustang feeling good, and then like you can't drive for 6 months. So like that's probably honestly like the hardest time in my life. I say that I'm 16 at 16 and I'm only 23 now. I'm
No,
sure.
yeah, no, but just being
Yeah.
on, you're really only 16. So I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
was it really that hard of a time in your life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not taking
Yeah,
nothing
no,
away
no,
from
no,
you,
no,
right?
no,
Not
no,
not
no.
in a way,
But
like
it felt like
you just felt like your
it felt
manhood.
like my life was over,
Yeah,
bro. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, like, and then at 16, you care about like
Other
what
other
other
people
people think.
think.
Yeah, and
That's why I was kind of getting at. Like
yeah.
your life
That's
wasn't really over. That was all
yeah.
in your head, right?
No, I mean you're so young. It's really just beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Exactly.
I'm like he's saying like, oh dude, I was thinking my life is over. Like, dude, come on, dude, you as a
Yeah.
kid, like
Exactly.
your life just starting. Like
Yeah.
you had a little bump in the road.
Yeah.
I
you
mean,
know?
yeah, you got
And that's
people.
what-
At least you
judging
didn't
like-
die. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And that's what I was kind of gonna explain. Like, it was some trial and error. So like, you gotta get put on medicine. And I still take this like to this day. Like, and that's why I say my mom's my best friend. She'll text me,
Make sure you take your medicine.
she always jokes around. She says like she's gonna haunt me as a ghost. And
Take
yeah,
your
so-
medicine.
but it takes a while. And I just found this out recently. Like some people, like some medicines just don't work, and like
For some people.
and they're just kind of screwed. So at some point, I just kind of, after months have kind of gone by, after it happened, I just kind of realized, like, like I gotta stop being so down on myself, because like I really did, like I wasn't really that happy, like just kind of going through emotions, and that's when they kind of recommended me towards therapy. And so
Did you went into it like with an open mind?
No, I was kind of like you. I'm not gonna lie, and I'll say his name because I haven't went to him in like over like 3 or 4 years now. Mr. Mike DeSalvo, he's a real one. He just made me have a whole different perspective on life, and like kind of made me realize like what's important, what's not, and kind of like what you said, like I could have died like so easily, like I could have easily not be here with y'all right now. And so just kind of looking at it from that perspective, it honestly changed me. And if you ask me, like I'd do it the same way, like let everything happen, because I truly wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for that.
Right.
Well,
That's
yeah,
about
it builds character. I mean,
builds,
Yeah.
it didn't. Yeah, it built
not
character.
to say. I mean, but it does build the character. I mean,
No.
it's
And
crazy.
it's
You went through
also-
struggles.
Yeah.
And it's also like helped me realize, like, just like in everyday things now, one, to not take anything for granted, and also two, like nothing's really a challenge as you think. Like if I can get over something like this, then like really I can do anything. And so I guess that kind of shifted me into the direction of like, hey, this is what I want to do. Cause I mean, also prior before that, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I mean, respectfully, I was 16, but
Right.
yeah. And, I'm just truly blessed. Like that's kind of how my freak accident that put me towards God, like you said. And, I'm just blessed that everything's okay. I haven't had one in a while. So I'm just truly blessed for that. And, I'm excited where life's going to take me,
That's why you. So that's
that's why I
you-
enjoy life.
what
Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna
why I
say.
enjoy life.
How to say it?
That's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's the kind of backstory of that.
But hey, be honest. When your mom get mad at you now that everything's kind of subsided and kind of, does she ever throw that old saying? That's why we can't have nice shit. She ever throws that way?
I'm not gonna
Talk to it, Austin, bro.
No, I'm just saying. Like that's
No.
what they look. I would throw that in there every time.
Look.
Like, see, look.
Look, she does give me a hard time sometimes. I'll say that. She does give me a hard time, but I love her. And she's always looking out for my best interest. And not to mention, she's real as fuck, because she let me drive the new car, the Rogue. She still drove my grandpa's car after like we got the medicine and stuff figured out.
No, I can obviously tell she's a cool
Yeah.
fucking mom. Like
No, she's the coolest mom. She really is.
she wanted her son.
But
to
yeah,
start.
I was
You know what I
like,
mean?
twice.
Yeah,
Let her
twice.
drive the car twice.
Like
Yeah.
no, that's chill. That's what's up.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm just blessed to be where I'm at now.
Maybe the
man.
first car wasn't so bad because she won it.
Yeah, I think that's why
Yeah,
she
yeah,
really.
Yeah, I
likes
mean,
it
like, look, if
that.
you wreck this, she'd be like, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she's like,
just
all right,
paid a
if
lot
you
for
wreck
this
this,
fucking
yeah,
car.
Nissan Rogue. But I will say
I mean, it
this.
does suck because it was
Oh, no,
We
it's-
drove that, and so also, I forgot to mention this part. I couldn't really drink either at the time. I drink now, and I have
Well,
no
yeah, 'cause you
problems
didn't know
with it
what
'cause my
triggers it,
medicine.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was one of the things they said. Like for some people, if you drink, like it lowers your levels. That's what they call it, like your brain levels,
Huh.
and it could cause something to happen. Luckily, I do not have that side.
Right.
It's truly blessed for that.
Hmm.
But like for the rest of high school, just to be safe, I didn't drink.
Mhm.
And so I was the designated driver. Me and my boys would pack up that fucking road and we'd tear shit up, man. We tear shit up. We have a lot of memories in that road. Let's just say that.
For sure.
A lot of people made some memories in there, checking things off the checklist.
I can only imagine, huh? Golly,
Yeah,
sorry, Mom.
Yeah, sorry, Mom.
God.
She
Nigga,
probably,
that-
she probably knows. Though.
No, I hope
Like,
she
I
got that
mean,
thing clean by now. Huh?
Yeah, no. It's been detailed 1,000 times by now.
Good. Shit. I'm like, dude, this dude here got his friend smashing in his mom's car.
Nah, it's
that
the
is
road,
wild.
bro.
Oh shit.
That's so
It's gonna
wild.
think so bad.
Oh, man.
It's getting so bad.
Bunch of fucking kids.
Oh, man.
But
So,
yeah, man, no. I'm truly blessed for everything that's happened.
So
Yeah.
that kind of like it was kind of led you.
And that's what led me into psychology. After like probably a year going, when I was probably like in 11th grade, I was like, this is what I want to do. And I stuck to it. And I'm blessed for that too. I know I say I'm blessed a lot. I'm sorry. But
Good to be blessed.
yeah, I'm thankful for that because I find a lot of people, they don't really know what they want to do at times. Some people go into college, like they're in their second, third year, and they're like, I gotta switch majors because I don't like this.
You want me to tell you something crazy, Casey? I
where
still
that's-
don't even know what the
yeah,
fuck I want to do with the rest of my life.
Exactly.
You
Tell
know
you
what always
something
tripped
crazy?
me out about you say the college thing when kids don't know what they want to do.
No,
Like,
I'm not.
I-
I'm being,
no,
but I was being serious right now. You probably still really don't even know what the fuck you want to do for the rest of your life. Yeah, we doing shit and we doing
Yeah.
big shit. Yeah, but like, this ain't the shit you want to be doing for the rest of your life.
Well, no,
You
but
get what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, there's always there's
You
goals.
always have a goal.
Yeah, there's always
There's
a
goals,
goals.
but I mean, in the general aspect, I can tell you for the next few years, I'm gonna be doing this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, me too.
Yeah.
Look, obviously, the things that we're doing are working, and
Yeah.
Right.
we're very successful in
But
the
no,
industry.
I get what you're saying. There's look now. I mean, obviously, we can't see it in the future, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know where we're
Well,
gonna go.
I mean, look, you want me to even tell you something even crazier?
Hmm.
I didn't fucking go to college thinking that I'm gonna own a marketing company one day, or a photography or cinematography. Like, what?
Look, not a takeaway,
Yeah.
but trips me out. The ones that always go to school and just be like, oh, I got a degree in general studies.
Or they know what they
the
doing.
fuck
or-
you
or-
gonna
yeah,
do with
or-
that?
Well, no, the thing that
No, I get that.
There
but,
are some degrees that are like a scam.
yeah, that's
no,
yeah.
but
Well, no,
a lot
seriously,
of them,
seriously,
definitely.
general
No,
studies.
No,
what
no,
the fuck
no,
are you
no.
gonna do with that?
This is what trips me out. I don't care about the general studies. Cool, go to general studies because honestly, I think at one point I was in
What you
general.
got general studies?
No,
That's
I
your
want.
degree?
No, I don't. I have a
Look,
business.
I barely-
No, I have
Hey,
a,
bro.
I have a business. No, I have a business degree. But at one point, I was in general studies because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. So I was just going to college to try to figure out. That was at one point. And then I kind of figured out through college, like, all right, this is what I kind of like doing. This is the things I'm interested in, or whatever. So that's how I kind of led into that, I guess you could say, or sales or whatever. But nah, dude, like even whenever I was in college, I didn't know even
Yeah.
like throughout my entire college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I just kept the only thing that like what kept me going is just like I know that I want to be that guy that people call on that needs something to get something done. And I'm gonna be the guy to get it done. Like
Yeah.
I don't have a client that they can honestly say, you call Nick and you ask him for something that he's gonna tell you no, he can't do it. We're gonna figure out a way to do
Yeah,
it.
you're a problem solver.
Correct. And I feel like that's the same. That's any good person that does business should be able to have that.
Well, look,
type
I'm gonna be honest. School wasn't my thing. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie.
Yeah,
look, school wasn't
I
my
agree,
thing.
it's
Look,
not for
I
everyone.
went to school for. Obviously, I graduated high school. I went to college for 2 years, got an associate's degree, and I was like, "Look, peace out."
Yeah, fuck
It was
that.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great, but look, I had enough. I mean, it wasn't
No,
me.
I agree. Like, if I didn't want to do psychology,
And what you're going into, you really need a master's for
yeah.
that.
Like, so literally you need it. Like,
But yeah,
need
you
it.
can't. Yeah, you can't go nowhere else.
like
You can't do nothing
get you
really.
can't get your LPC without having your master's. So, I fall in one of those places where you kind of got to go to school. But if I wanted to do something as far as like business or something along those lines,
Oh, you would definitely be able to make it happen.
yeah, I don't know if I would have made it out, man. Because school, it gets a lot.
Yeah, it gets a lot. You can be honest. You know how I made it out? Look, I made friends with the professors. Dude, I'm shit you not. Listen, like, look, when the oil field was booming, we were working. I was working doing safety. Look, I would tell the professor, I'm like, and that's kind of what I went to school for, oil field safety. Well, I did. I would go to these classes, and they're all oil field guys. Okay, they teach,
Yeah.
but they also have jobs.
You went to where?
Nichols?
You was doing petroleum engineering program.
Yeah. Well, it was the
I know
petroleum-
exactly.
So wait. So look, the
Oh.
craziest thing, like this is a real story. So I'd go to class and I'd catch one of the professors in the hall. I'm like, hey, what you doing? He's like, oh, I'm about to go to class. I'm like, well, instead of class, I'm gonna go to lunch. And I'm buying. Let's go to lunch. He's all right, we're going to lunch. Dude, he would just show up at the class and everybody would just waiting there like, man, can you believe he didn't show up? I'm like, no, that's crazy.
This is awesome.
And we're going to eat Chinese food. Straight up, that's what we did. We went to the Chinese buffet and went eat. Dude, listen, I had 4 professors one time. We went offshore fishing. Took them dudes fishing.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Hey, so look, straight up, the next morning, I was like, we got back at 4 o'clock in the morning. We went fish the rigs, catch a bunch of trout, come back the next morning. I'm like, look, guys, I had 4 professors in the boat and a couple of buddies of mine. I said, hey, tomorrow about that test. I said, look, I'm not.
So that's where you
I said, listen, I'm not gonna be there. I'll be honest. I said, shit, we're probably not gonna be there neither. Dude, straight up. Hey, the next day, people were like, man, can you believe it? They weren't here in class.
Well, no.
You know, the ones that like all like salty. I'm like, whoa, and you weren't here neither? I'm like, look, don't worry about me.
Yeah.
You fucking do you.
Well, no, look, the thing that really gets me about the college situation and the people that go to college and shit is the people that go to college and say that they're gonna do this thing and they're dead set on this thing, and then they get out of college, they go do that thing, and then they like quit within like the first year or two, and then they just look. My buddy ain't gonna care. He's very successful where he's at now. He just actually got a promotion. He just moved to Milwaukee. Okay. This dude went to college for like a legit shit you not 6 to 8 years, right? He didn't know what he wanted to do. He was going to get some degrees. He probably fucked off some years, whatever.
Mhm.
We partied. He was around me. We did some crazy shit.
You should have been
right?
like a doctor.
No, look, I mean, yeah, realistically, he could. But no, look, don't take nothing away. This is a smart ass fucking dude.
Yeah.
He went to school. He's a fucking engineer. All right, this dude is an engineer. He has the credentials behind his name. This dude's a fucking engineer. Okay, gets a job with his people or whatever, like from around where he goes. I'm not gonna call out no company's names or nothing, but it's an oil field job for a really prominent company that makes a lot of money. And starting off, he was making like 60 racks a year plus like commissions and stuff. All right, that's starting off out the door of college. Within 2 or 3 years, if he would have set up himself right, he would have been making 150 or 200
So he
easy.
quit?
Yeah, he was working sub level C or whatever, and he just wasn't happy with how much time he had to spend offshore and all that stuff. But like if he would have played it for like 2 or 3 more years, I think realistically he could have had like a cozy office job over here, like in inland, and been good. But he was just like, dude, I'm miserable here. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm doing. I'm just like thinking to myself, like, I actually brought him on with my company for a little while to help him out, to support him, to, get to figure out what he wanted to do next in life. And that's whenever he worked for me for a little while. Then he ended up finding the next job where he started working for Milwaukee. But it was just like, dude, like, I don't know. I always think about that. And that's an example I bring up to like a lot of friends whenever I'm talking. It's like these kids, they think they know what they want to do and they got these goals and they set these things. And then they go to like this dude, he went to school for, I shit you not, like 8 years to be an engineer. And now he's selling tools.
Yeah, I think one thing about that is like you could really want to go do something, but until you actually experience it, like you really won't know.
Correct.
I think that's probably the reason why that happens so much. Just because, I mean, I guess you could even say this for me. If I don't like counseling, like,
yeah, have
I've-
you ever? Have you
I ever
did it?
had a doubt about it?
No. Or even that, but like I was gonna say, like, have you ever like really like counseled anybody really like that? You feel like you have a knack for that?
We do a lot of practice in grad school. Like during undergrad, we really didn't, but in grad school, we do a lot of practice. And I'd say I think I'm actually, I don't want to flex or anything, but I'm
Yeah, no, you're good at it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
look,
good.
I mean, look, flex whenever you can flex. Whenever somebody, if I say, hey, look, I'm gonna go make a sale, I'm gonna go make a fucking sale.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. You know what I mean? There ain't no
Yeah.
doubt. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make that sale. I'm gonna make that sale. You're telling me that you're gonna go counsel this dude, you'll get his
Yeah.
mind right. You know,
Oh, for sure.
you gotta believe in
And I
yourself.
got y'all for the free ski. In the if y'all ever see it, come talk.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Get
look,
some shit
that's
off my chest.
well, that's why I
Oh,
was.
look,
about-
I could tell you some crazy stuff.
Well, that's that's really where I was gonna go with it. Was basically saying
like the mind is wild.
well, yeah, and just for me, from my point of view, I rather talk to somebody as a friend, you know, share a little party favor or something, you know, sit down by a fire and, you know, talk
Yeah.
rather than go and sit down. Cause like I'll be real with you. I even tried the therapy stuff because I had like an ex-girlfriend after I graduated college and she actually kind of got in my head. She was like, you ain't gonna be shit. You ain't doing
Yeah.
shit. And I'm in the midst of like making all my companies right now. I'm like grinding on my computer till
Yeah.
12 o'clock at night. And like, she's telling me all this shit. And like, she kind of fucked with me. And I was just like,
You know what's funny though?
I was
When they say you ain't gonna be shit, like I'm not saying I don't even know her, but I mean
no, well, this girl's just to give it to her. She's going to grad school. She's going to school to be a lawyer and shit. But she's looking
that's
at
good.
yeah,
Okay,
good,
so
good
she
for her,
got-
right, yeah, whatever. But she's just looking at me, and just because I wasn't on the same wavelength as that, like going to school, but I was doing it my way, right? And she just kind of wasn't really
like
like,
I thought you were gonna go to the round like she's tricking behind like Waffle House or something crazy.
no.
Like,
No,
there's always the
no.
ones that say you ain't gonna be shit.
No,
and
solid-
then they ain't shit.
solid chick, good girl. Just wrong opinions, I guess.
Right.
All right,
Yeah, no.
just not believing in, not even not believing, but I don't know. She's seen some things, and I was just like, bitch, you really don't even know me, really. Like,
Yeah.
how you don't think
Nah,
I'm gonna be shit? Watch what I'm really gonna fucking do. You know?
Nah,
If anything, you just pump me up more.
Yeah, nah, I call it, and I mean everyone really calls it these days. I keep my receipts.
Well, she broke up with me because of it. She was like, you ain't gonna be shit. You ain't doing
well,
shit.
that's a
I was
big
like,
ass
"Alright."
receipt right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Damn, that's wild.
She broke up with me, and then I found my now fiance literally like,
Shout out to fiance.
yeah, like 3 months later, like I met her at a party.
But like, how old were y'all to even know what you want to be?
Like,
You know what that
I
crazy shit? I guarantee you go back in her
Well-
younger days in school. I guarantee she put on a fucking paper she wanted to be a mermaid or something.
well, yeah, but
like
like,
that's that kind of goofy
well, this,
shit. That
well, this
people
was the deal. I was
like,
graduating.
what you want to be when you grow up, Cindy? Oh, I want to be a giraffe. Well, I'm
What-
sorry, you can't be a giraffe.
Well, look,
Don't tell me her name's
no,
really
no,
Cindy
no,
because I
no,
just threw
no,
that
no.
name out.
This was the deal.
That would've been
The
fun.
deal on it was just like I was graduated, living with a bunch of college kids, and she was still in college, about to graduate, about to go to grad school, and she was just like, "Well, what are you doing? What am I doing? Look what I'm doing. I just graduated. I'm
grinding.
trying to start businesses. I'm grinding right now, like, and I don't know if she just didn't see it or what, but it's whatever. I
Makes you
could
the
care
business.
less. I
But
could
no,
care
look,
less.
back to the whole psychology thing. I think that's why people have that hard time to feel like they have to have their whole life planned out. Because look, same shit when you go through school. What they do like a career day. Listen, my kids are they don't even know what they want to be right now.
Yeah, no.
Look, I mean, at 3 or 4 years old, what do you actually know you want to be? No, you know what the fucking answer they get you? Like I said, they want to be a dolphin or something crazy. Like you can't do
I
magic.
wanted to be a dump truck driver whenever I
dump
was
truck
3 or
driver.
4
Are
years
you
old.
really? I was
Yeah.
about to say
Dude,
that.
dude, I
Oh
swear-
my god.
Dude, they hung off the back of the truck.
Yes,
Fucking
yes.
right.
Oh my god.
You telling me I
No,
get to
that's
hang
oh
on
my
the back of a
that is
truck?
crazy.
Where you see
I
a
was dead
dump
ass
truck
about to
driver
say that.
hangs on the. You talking about?
You talking about on the back?
Yeah,
on
a
the
garbage
back.
truck driver.
a garbage truck?
Yes.
No, you said dump truck.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm
Okay.
It's the same.
No,
Well, I mean,
he's talking about
yeah,
straight.
yeah.
No, I mean, I'm
construction
sorry,
background.
but I'm just
No,
no,
when I
I'm-
was a kid, I used to tell my mom, like, we'd see one pass and I'd say, like, I want to ride on the back.
I want to ride on the back of the garbage.
That's what I'm
Hey,
saying.
and don't take nothing away from them dudes. Them
Yeah,
dudes make
no.
fucking bank, and
No,
they do
they
it. They
do.
do a service
No.
for our city that we need. Just being honest.
No, but my whole
No,
point was
they're
that
real.
kids say goofy shit all the way up till they actually figure out, they don't have a value of money.
Yeah.
They don't figure out like, oh, what's important or what they're trying to accomplish.
right.
Like they say, they want to be a magician or a fucking farrier or
Well,
whatever.
I
I
also
don't know.
had underwear model in there too. I don't know
Really?
why. I was just
No, you're younger?
Yeah,
Just-
when I was younger. Not right now. No.
Well, I mean,
But that's crazy. You said that about the freaking garbage truck. I was dead ass about to say
yeah,
that.
no, dude, like swear,
Wow.
like
That's
it's
pretty
just.
funny though.
But I think that's like a lot of kids or
Because
whatever.
you
at
just
that
see
age.
fun shit like that as a
Mhm.
kid, and you're like, damn, I want to do that. Yeah,
That's tight.
no.
Yeah.
But then just being real, like honestly, at this point in my life, fuck, being a garbage truck rider and jumping trash might not be as stressful as what the fuck I'm doing now. Nah, I was just fucking like I wouldn't. I love what I do now, and I have a great life. and I would never be able to do what I do now, being a garbage truck driver. But at the end of the day, those simplicity, the simplicity things in life, it just sometimes it's
The
nice
little
to,
things.
yeah.
But no, actually going back to the whole podcast thing, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, how did you get your whole start into it? Because look, I mean, when we kind of started our deal, I mean, obviously I had started watching, I wanted to see some other local podcasts because
No, Austin pulled you up before. I also knew about you before I knew about you.
yeah.
Oh,
So
crazy.
it was wild. Like, look, I started looking. I'm like, man, it's kind of cool. Like, I never really experienced with the whole podcast until he kind of brought it up. I'm like, well, I want to see something. So I started kind of watching your thing. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. I never really got the whole aspect of how to, but I kind of want to hear what you.
So I'd say I was probably the summer going into senior year of undergrad. I kind of got into just like listening to podcasts. Shout out Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco, and shout out Joe Rogan. Shout out Theo Vaughn. Like that was the three I listened to.
Oh, I mean, Joe. I think I know the first one you named off. I would have to see a picture of them just so I actually know their faces. But like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, dude. I wish we could have Theo Vaughn just come in here and talk.
That is like my dream guest. I've said that in like one of my first episodes. He's so funny.
It's not even about being a guest. Like fuck the cameras. I don't even want him for the publicity. I just want to hang out with the dude just for like he's from Lafayette.
Theo's the man.
Where is he from Lafayette?
No, he's from Covington.
Okay, Covington. I'm from fucking Pierreport. Austin from fucking Houma. I mean, you're from fucking Thibodeau, Back Vashry.
Yeah,
it's Back Vashry.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? That's crazy. That's like the second time I've heard that term.
Vashry?
But it's crazy. People don't just say Vashry.
No.
People from Vashry don't say.
No, they do not say they're from Vashry. They say I'm fucking Back Vashry.
And the crazy thing is,
why though? What is it?
It's like y'all are gangs. It's like a gang.
Yeah.
So the crazy part is, the back Vashry is actually the front of Vashry, and the front Vashry is actually
fucking ass back.
But it's but you have to say where you're from.
Why is it like a poor and the rich part?
No, not even that. Like, there's really no difference. Vashry's like
Vashry's
very
Vashry.
small. Like
Vashry's
everyone
Vashry.
knows everyone in Vashry. Everyone knows your business, but you just gotta say it. Like if you're from Vashry, like you'll know. Like, oh, I'm from Back Vashry. Oh,
and like Back Vashry, is that like
Back Vashry's better? I'll say that.
Is that like what
I live there. I live there.
We got a Dollar General.
We do have a Dollar General.
Dollar General be putting shit in places everywhere.
Well, and I'm pretty sure in Back Vashry they got that one low spot that's actually a pretty good low.
They have
Cajun.
a Blake's in Back.
Oh, they do have a Blake's and
You talking about
shout out
Nick?
Yeah, shout out Nick.
Wait,
I love you, Nick.
So you talking about like, so what part are you calling Back Vashry? Like, not by the intersection right there.
Yeah.
That's all Back Vashry.
That's what he's saying.
I consider from Vashry.
That's what he's saying. That's the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
what throws me off because I would consider that the front, the beginning.
But it's not. It's
that's crazy.
It's Back Vashry.
Hey guys, can y'all bring me another drink in here? You didn't hear me because the headphones weren't. Can you bring me another drink in here, please?
But like you got to know the difference. Like,
that's crazy.
Anyone, like I said, anyone from Vashry, like you'll say I'm from Back Vashry or I'm from front Vashry. Like it's just a thing. But anyways, the podcast idea. I'm sorry, I'm a big hang.
No. I wasn't making. I was trying to make gang signs like Vashry.
Back Vashry.
Throw the double V's. The PV.
This dude thought I was like making fun of him. I was like, no, I was trying to make Crit the gang signs. I was like, what?
Yeah, but
you talking shit.
we do need a Back Vashry sign. I don't know what it would be,
crazy. But I think there's a song.
There probably is.
Somebody showed me a song.
There probably is.
Oh no, I mean no.
No, there's like a fucking like legit Back Vashry song. I'm pretty sure.
I was about to say some names who probably made it, but I'm not even giving them dues publicity on our podcast.
No.
But anyways, that's where I kind of like got the idea. I guess I was like, it'd be cool if I could do something like this. Do I need to wait 1 second?
No, you good.
But I just realized I was like, I feel like I could do something like this. Like, it interested me, and then also I felt like I've had a lot of experiences in life to where I've learned. Feel like
you want to talk about
it. I want to talk about it for one, and two, I've learned that life's too short. So like, either I'm gonna pull the trigger,
do it now.
Either it's gonna happen or not. So probably around like November, I was like, okay, like this is gonna happen. So that Christmas, once again, I'm bringing up the folks again. Shout out mom, shout out dad. Went to Best Buy. You know, you said it about Best Buy. I went over there, got the equipment, and then I remember I went on ski trip, and then I spent January to May trying to figure out how to work everything. Like I told you, I'm not big into technology. I mean, obviously, like, you know, like
Yeah, the
phone,
normal,
little
yeah.
things. But once it gets like anything you guys over there doing, I'd be so fucking lost. I'd be fucking your shit up.
Well, I mean,
bad.
no, I mean,
I ain't gonna
look,
lie.
But
I mean,
look, this was the biggest learning curve. I'll be honest.
yeah.
And that's the thing. And I think that's just a testament to me actually wanting to do it. Like, I was so determined to learn how to make.
But look, don't
things
take
work.
look, and I'm not trying to cut you off right now or nothing.
No,
but
you're good.
don't take away from yourself anything of like what you're seeing over here. Like I know,
Yeah, no,
I know
no,
it's kind of
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
a big
no, this
production
is
setup,
good.
and then we got like the
Yeah.
people and all. But like at the end of the day, dude, like you have a good thing going on. People want to watch that type of content. People want to see real content, right?
Yeah.
That's the point of it all. You don't have to necessarily me being me and having people like Austin on my team and
Yeah.
on my back. We were fortunate enough to be able to make something like this. And
like I kind of gave you your flowers on my podcast, like y'all got something great going on. I love seeing it in person is even better. And
Appreciate it.
I'm so happy for you guys because like I'm gonna kind of continue on the story about how it got started, but it's hard work. Like
Oh, no doubt.
like I feel like some people just think like you could easily do it, but it's so hard and like it's such a dedication.
How much time you spending like editing all your own stuff?
I usually try and get it done on the weekends, and it'll take me all day. Like on Saturday, it's kind of like.
So that's what Casey's doing on Saturday. Casey's not going.
Oh
to,
yeah, and you
Casey's
could
not
ask
going to
my
the pool
friends.
or
You could
anything.
ask my friends early on, like my close friends. Like they'd go to like do something, and I'd be like, I can't. Like either I'm filming or I'm editing. Like
Well, hey, let me ask you this. So,
Yeah.
like, when you're filming, because see, that's the crazy thing. I didn't know how I was gonna like it the first time I was gonna be on camera and kind of stuff like that. But you don't even really notice it. Okay, like
So-
we're talking and bullshitting and you know you got all the lights and
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like you don't even we talk for hours and you don't even realize it. But what's crazy is like you said, you're just setting it up and you're talking just to the camera yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
To me, that would trip me out because look, we always got something going on. There's always somebody
Yeah.
in and out, and
Well,
it distracts you a little bit.
Yeah, well, the thing that whenever he did a solo podcast, I saw.
See, I don't know if I could do that.
I mean, either.
It's hard.
Well, yeah, I didn't. I
The
didn't.
first one took a lot of takes.
I didn't watch
I was
it.
about to
I'll be
say.
honest with you. I didn't watch
Yeah,
it.
no.
I'm gonna watch it. I want to see it.
I've done a couple solo episodes now. It got to a point like where in grad school, like towards finals last semester, like I just couldn't do it. Like I was like,
Yeah.
look, I still want to put out episodes, but I can't just like get a guest. Like
what did you
like
do?
that.
What did you do your solo episodes on? Like,
Usually whatever's on my mind. Like I remember one solo episode, I had a rough week at school, and I just straight up talked about that. Like
no, I can't do solo episodes because
like tough shit. Like it was about like tough shit. Like shit is gonna happen, but like you just gotta.
Yeah, brush it
No,
off
No,
and move
no,
on.
yeah. Well, look, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I could not do a solo episode because of like what you're saying. Like, oh, we get on here and we start talking about our rough week or whatever. Oh, we lighting cannons fucking
Yeah.
loose. Like,
And a solo
like,
episode's always short too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can probably make it like 20-ish.
Well, yeah, because
minutes.
when you got a few people, you
Yeah.
can feed off each
Conversation,
other. Yeah.
feed.
But anyways, about to start. It took me a while to kind of take care of that, and then right around May is when I finally got everything set up. It was a lot of asking, a lot of trying to figure it out, because no one that I knew was doing something like this, and no one really.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't seen anybody else besides, I guess, us and you really doing a
Yeah.
podcast from our area.
I know Steve did. I haven't.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Steve.
But
They
I
do the
haven't-
sports one,
Yeah.
but have they not? They haven't done one in a while, huh?
I don't think so. I don't know what's up with that, so I don't want to.
No, yeah,
speak
we don't.
on it
I
too
don't.
much.
Look, I love Steve. Look,
Yeah.
that's one of my good friends.
Yeah.
I hope
He was
all
one of
this-
my first college friends.
Yeah, I hope all the success for him and all. They do the Fountain
Yeah,
of
and we
Youth.
did the Christmas drive together. That was pretty cool.
Awesome.
We could touch on that. But as far as the podcast is concerned, I tried to lay out everything according to plan. Get some guests. My goal was getting like 4 guests. That way I had a month of content because I drop every week. And that way I didn't have to worry about it for a month. and
That's
I
a
could
lot of
focus
pressure on
on
yourself.
Oh, yeah. And also,
And the school aspect, like God, that would drive me crazy.
Like just being honest with you, dude.
it's
like,
so much.
look,
It's a lot.
I have 3 full-time employees, 4 part-time employees, and 2 interns. And we only do what we do right now bi-weekly. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
2 episodes a month, and we still struggling to even keep up with that timeline. So
Yeah.
like 1 every single week, dude, that's a lot.
And it gets tough at times, and like I said, I would be blessed to have a team, and I think that's like towards like my goal.
You'll
is to
get there
a
one
team.
day. Look, you'll get
Yeah.
there.
And one thing I'll always tell myself is that Rome wasn't built in one day.
No.
Right, facts. That's true.
So right now, it's crazy to think about right now because I'm already 40. This week's gonna be 45,
Yeah, you're a lot of
and
episodes in.
like this isn't really even like this is just the beginning. Like this was just year 1.
This was your first year doing podcasts this past year?
Yeah, once we hit May, it'll fully hit a year.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so
So
you see,
truly,
look,
and
you
it's
started
crazy
out from nothing though.
Yes, and it's crazy because I listened to something. Apparently, like after like 20 episodes, so many people quit. It's
No,
called
it's 7. It's
7.
7.
Okay, it's called pod fade, and like literally, like a high percentage of people just quit because they don't see views or they don't see the immediate results, and that's something that never really bothered me. Now, sometimes I'll beat myself up over even a bad video, but maybe one that doesn't get as many views.
When you thought it was gonna be like, man, that's gonna be a
I was
hit.
like, this is the one, and and
Like I'll put it because the same thing happened with us, and I'm gonna bring up his name. He's gonna come back on here again, whatever. But I'm guessing you probably thought the one that you had of Brody, whenever he came on, you probably thought I was gonna pop. Just being honest, that's why we started
I thought
him
it would
off
do a lot better
than what it did.
But
Look, that's why we used him as our first opener.
now you see that was something that I was thinking about. So like before I even had the pod, Brody told me he'd come on, and the strategy I wanted to kind of go with was like, if I go and get someone like Brody first, and I just kind of go like,
and then you might feel like you never have another one that reached that potential.
So I was like, you know what, and I started off my first episode was with.
Well, you can't. But look, let me just give you a little bit of advice right there, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do or anything.
Yeah, no.
But like, you need to have a different mindset on that because
exactly
you do because
and that's what I learned.
Yes,
because that's what I'm thinking. I haven't put out one episode yet, so I have a whole different mindset from what I did then, and I'm still learning now, and I enjoy like meeting people like y'all and other people who give me a lot of advice and just constructive feedback. Like that's
Absolutely.
what you need. Like I hate running into someone and them saying, "Oh, like you do such a great job," like blah blah blah, but they might not really feel that way. Like
oh yeah, they're just gaslighting you.
Yeah, bad, and it's crazy.
But look, wait, let me tell you something real quick.
You're good.
I want you to finish that, but just because I'm gonna forget, that's just how my mind is. But fucking, I watched it happen to Brody. Just straight up, we talking about him already anyway. Dude, it was me and Brody was talking in a bar. This was before me and Brody ever like did any work together, whatever. We just bullshitting in a bar, ended up linking up with each other, whatever. Saw each other, just talked. He knows what I had going on. A dude walks up that obviously like went to school with him or something before, and he just is like, "Oh, dude, what's up, man? You got it going on now, but
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you forever. I know how's it feel? Like just like asking kind of you know what I mean? Like gaslighting him, but like you could tell that dude was fucking jealous.
Yeah.
Like low key mad. Like on some shit. No, I'm being serious. Like just the way he was saying it and the way he was acting.
That was the vibe.
That was the vibe. And I was just like, I looked at Brody after and I was like, how often you get that shit, bro? And he was like, dude, he was like, all the time. And I was like, fuck. I was like, that must fucking feel kind of awkward. Like,
and so like it's funny you say that. So like after I wasn't nervous because I'm at the point in my life, like after the accident, I really don't care about anyone's opinion but mine.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter what you think of what I'm doing. Like I'm in my own lane doing my own thing. But I was a little like, okay, like, what are people gonna think? Because like I said, no one really around here did something like that or had that going on.
well, think about it. You're a pioneer, bro.
I know. And it's crazy because a lot of people have started like podcasts like around here now. Like Steve started it, y'all started, and I'm not saying like I'm the reason why. Like that's why I don't.
And look, and I'm not taking no credit. Like I just told you, you really are a pioneer. You probably was the first person in Thibodeau to honestly start a podcast. but I honestly didn't even know about you until Austin started bringing you up, and then I was like, damn, I
You
was
kind
like,
of put 2 and 2
yeah,
together.
well, yeah. Then I was like, dude, I was like, I go to the gym with him. Like, I was like, he goes to my gym,
Yeah.
and then I was like, what the fuck's going on right now? And I think the only reason that we ended up finding yours was because you partnered up with Steven, and I had already
Yeah.
followed Steven and all. And I mean, that's just because we really never really
Yeah,
got
we
each
never
other's
really
socials or
talked to each
talk.
other. Yeah.
Correct.
But so I dropped the first episode. Honestly, first episode is the biggest episode uploaded. It's got 1,000 views. But I did not go out in public for like a month, maybe. Like I grinded out those. I stayed home on the weekends, like did all my stuff, like made sure everything was to a T. And then like it felt so weird going out like that first time after, like, oh my God, you have a podcast, like,
Yeah, people
oh my
start
God, yeah,
recognizing.
like I'm just like,
Me and
like,
Austin literally
and
talked
it,
about the same
and
shit.
it got aggravating at some point. I'm not gonna say aggravating, but
It's
you
not
know,
aggravating. It's always cool.
it's
You
cool, but
happy
then
that you see people
like
seeing your
there's,
stuff.
like you said about the Brody thing, like there's some people who are like not really meaning it,
Oh
and
no, they're
Well,
being kind of sarcastic. Like,
yeah.
look,
Well, no, but
I knew
listen.
some guy. I got some guys that I seen downtown after we let off our few first episodes, yada yada, whatever. And they know that I'm doing some different shit, right? They know that we
Yeah,
got shit
anytime you
going
do
on.
something different, like
Correct.
people are gonna.
Well, we downtown or whatever, and this one of the dudes go like, "Oh, whoa, Mr. Famous Podcaster," and I'm just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I
come
hate
on."
Yeah, low key
And-
Come on,
sarcastic.
bro. Yeah, like
Yeah.
trying to be sarcastic.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, and then I'm wearing this hat. I'm fucking got it low. Like, I'm literally like, I'm like this, walking around downtown. I'm incognito. Nobody knows who I am.
Oh,
And
I do try and
dude.
go.
oh yeah.
smaller.
And then all of a sudden, I just hear Nick Sanchez, Mr. Famous Podcaster, and I'm just like,
Yeah, he's
oh,
hating.
Yeah, it's just
He's
it's
hating.
a, but like one thing I'll say, like I enjoy like talking to people about the podcast, and that's great if you want to talk to me about that. But like I also like I'm also still me in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
like
yeah.
like if I come up and talk to you and you've been knowing me forever, like you can have a genuine conversation with me. Like you don't have to just be like,
Yeah, it's not like
the
you turning on a
podcast, the
switch just
podcast.
because
I'm
you're sitting
like,
on a podcast versus after the studio time,
Yeah, and it was just a feeling it out at first. I'm not even gonna say it was weird. And then just kind of I got into a groove. And one thing I was always nervous at the start was keeping the guests like
Consistent.
going. Cause you think about it, like it's easy to like kind of not stop, but like people could have trouble finding guests. And so like literally me, I'd go on fucking Indeed, all these places.
Just
Yeah, but I
start
feel
finding
like-
people. That's
yeah,
crazy.
Look up people that I was interested in.
For
And so
your, for
one of
yours
my
though, it shouldn't be that. I mean, really, like,
now it's not hard. At
yeah,
all.
that's what I was about to
Now
say.
it's
just
not hard.
'cause
But that
it's-
was just one thing I was nervous about
Yeah.
because I was still new to it. And actually, one of my like first like cool ones that I remember is I met a dude off Indeed. He worked at Barstool. Like he still works at Barstool for this day. And we did one on Zoom, and he was just a cool guy. And so now I have that connection like for the rest of my life. Like he'll still text me like when I have an episode out or something. Another one that always hits home for me is the one I did with Jalen Coker. He's
That's
wide
it.
receiver for the Panthers.
Okay.
He was a rookie this year.
Okay, yeah, I think I know who you're talking
But
about.
he's gonna be a star, man. I'm telling y'all. You can get it on this episode. And my boy Brennan Chasson hooked me up with that. I always shout him out because I literally wouldn't have done it without him. And
Brennan Chasson, you talking about from the point of view of Brennan Chasson?
no.
What?
He's from like Berwick area.
Okay.
But I've met so many people and they've put me in positions to even like
To succeed.
to have better guests. Like I'll give you a prime example. One of my friends since high school, since elementary school, he worked as like an internship at LSU on the football team.
Mm-hmm.
And I had his boss on. His name's Sherman. Sherman's my dog. We also do our own little podcast. It's called Darkest Hour. We don't post that much. Our schedules conflict a lot.
Right.
So, but when we get it going, we get it going. And, through him, I've probably done, I think, 4 LSU players.
Really?
Just from him, because he's like, hey, like, you should get this guy. So I've had Chris Houghton on the podcast, Jordan Gilbert, and then 2 guys that just signed to LSU, Harlan Berry and DJ Pickett.
It's pretty cool.
So, you know, just to have those opportunities and meet those guys, you know, that's super cool. And just knowing like in the future what the future holds, like I already know like we have some things in the works, and I'm super excited to have an opportunity to do those things. And it's just crazy because as long as you just put yourself out there, like the connections you'll meet
Oh, dude,
is
that's
insane. Like if you would have told me episode 1 or like before the podcast that I'd have the people that I did have on, like I would have called you crazy. But if you just put yourself out there, like you'll never know.
well, dude, like literally, all it takes is you to go out there and give a minimal percent of what you can do, and you're pretty much gonna. I think we said this on 2 or 3 episodes already. Like people, they're lazy. People don't want.
Yeah.
Everybody's lazy. If you go out and you put up the minimal effort, you will succeed.
Well, look, the craziest thing, and look, I was kind of like that at first when we started it. We started talking about the whole podcast thing. I'm like, you know, like, oh, how am I gonna better talk on camera and do all this stuff? But look, that's a struggle. Some people have that struggle. Like, listen, I'm not a kind of a shy person by no means, but I guess what I'm saying, look, we're out here doing just like you're doing your podcast. You're doing the thing. You're in front of the camera. Look, that intimidates some people. They can't sit here.
Well, we have
to be
to-
on camera and do this kind of thing.
One of our previous episodes, I'm not gonna call him out just because I don't want to hurt his feelings or nothing. He probably knows whatever, but he struggled a little bit on the pod episode, and we were trying to pull questions out of him and talk with him on it and stuff. And then it just was like, we didn't even lay this episode out yet. I'm just letting you know because we're gonna have to fix some things in it. But we were struggling to pull information out of him, and then.
It's tough to get guests to elaborate sometimes.
I didn't think about it. I'm not thinking just because me and Austin, we're so used of it. We're used to the cameras being on us. We're used to the lights and also we're just talking and being normal. And then I'm not thinking in this dude's head, he's like, oh, fuck, they got cameras on me. They got lights on me. Oh, my God, what am I going to say next? And that's what was going through his head. And I didn't realize and I didn't pick up on that. And I should have. Because that's pretty much my job to fucking do. Yeah. But I didn't at first, and then Austin called it out to me.
When Nick was like, "Why you didn't say that?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna call the fucking guy."
Yeah, I was like, Austin. I called him.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, well, I called him that night, and I was like, "Well, why you wasn't really like bringing much stuff up?" Like I was like, "I don't feel like you really talked as much as you usually do."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I was trying to," and he was like, "But every time I fed him something, he didn't really like." I was just like, "No," I was like, "I kind of felt that too." No, so it is a struggle.
It is a struggle.
Y'all keep going. Don't stop without me. I gotta take my daily bathroom break.
No, you're good.
But no, I guess my question, and I'm kind of curious on this aspect of the way your podcast is set up and the kind of look. You're young. You're still going through school, and we kind of set up this podcast after we kind of in the career aspect. How do you think that's going to affect you once you kind of get into your? Or I mean, I don't even know are you doing some psychology stuff now?
So you can't counsel anyone until you can't actually.
Oh, so you can legally, yeah. So that's not even a thing right now.
But like as far as terms, like once I get there, like will this?
I'm guessing like so. Look, like today we worked all day doing the crane stuff and whatnot, and he's doing his media stuff, and then we come do a podcast in the afternoons. I guess my point is like our work's already done, but you're going through school then. So you don't even know how your career is going to evolve to be able to continue. I'm not saying you're not going to continue your podcast. But
no, I get where you're coming from, though. I think that aspect just comes as, I'll worry about that when that happens. Right. Realistically, when I get in a groove of counseling, I imagine I'll see like 3-4 people a day, probably finish around 2 or 3 o'clock. Yeah, and from there, I mean, go to the gym, do whatever I got to do. I'm not really worried about that. Mm-hmm. And I told myself in the beginning, like, if I'm doing this, I'm giving myself 100%.
Yeah, so you want to grow your podcast. Yeah. Like you want to continue, obviously.
I said this at the beginning. I said either I'm going to graduate and still do this podcast, or I'm going to be in a position to where I get to stop going to school and I can just do this podcast. Whichever one I'm cool with, because I love psychology and, that's what I want to do. But, if something would go that great, if I was blessed to be in that opportunity, then I'd take it.
Well, obviously. I think the cool part of that is, I mean, the whole psychology thing, you're kind of like, I mean, that's what a lot of people say. You're kind of picking people's brains and trying to figure out what's going on in their life. I think that's why
I'm kind of good at what I'm
doing. Well, right. Yeah. And it's only going to evolve because look, you could honestly, you can add so many twists because I mean, look, you're learning different ways to.
Yeah, we learned so much, and it's a lot of information. And like what y'all said, like it gets really tough at times trying to balance.
Yeah.
Like the last two, this week and last week, I really haven't posted on social media that much because literally, like y'all said, like I got to do the social media, I got to do the editing, I gotta set up all of this. I gotta,
you the one man band.
yeah,
man.
it's a one man show. It really is at times, and I think that's like the beauty of it, but also like it gets very stressful at times. So like some days I gotta like just focus on one thing more than the other. So like obviously school's
Yeah.
my top priority.
yeah.
If I'm being realistic. And so these past 2 weeks we've been jam packed with school, and I also work at school as a GA because they pay my tuition.
Oh, okay.
So that I gotta at least be at school 20 hours for the week, which isn't a lot at all for working. You know,
No, I mean,
there's
yeah,
a
you
lot
can
of
kind of
people-
balance
yeah.
that pretty.
So I'm in a position right now to where I can do both of these things like pretty clearly.
So after you graduate, what's your plans after that? You moving back to back Vachery?
No.
He
no,
said no. He
So,
said straight
no.
up no.
No. So
Come on, man.
I'd say what
We're
I'd
not gonna
wanna-
rev the BV?
No. I'm out. I'm out. But
Damn.
realistically, I mean, psychology and sports psychology isn't gonna hit big in back Vachery.
Right.
There's not athletes all around to go counsel, and I mean, it's just not a position to where like it would really do me good. So I think
Yeah.
some places I've been looking at, I'd love to stay in Louisiana. I love Louisiana.
Oh, so
so
you think
much.
you talking about like were you thinking about actually moving to a bigger city, or you kind
Oh,
of keep
yeah.
it local?
If I was to move right now, I'd either move to like Houston,
I was about to say, look, hey, Houston's not a bad spot for
Houston,
that because
anywhere
hey,
in Texas.
Houston everywhere is big.
there's a huge market.
Yeah,
I'm
sports
just-
psychology would kill it over there.
Just,
What?
Just letting y'all know real quick. If y'all heard that scream.
No,
I did.
You did? You heard it?
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah. Dalton, one of Austin's workers, decided to hide underneath the stairs.
He
When I
scared
was-
you?
Yeah, grabbed my foot. I didn't know what the hell.
Bruh.
Dude,
Oh,
I was like, and I'm kind of feeling myself right now. I'm running up the stairs, and all of a sudden I just get my foot grabbed. I'm
Someone
like,
grabs you.
dude,
yeah.
I'm like, ah! They're like, they heard me in the studio. They said, dude, they're like, they definitely heard that on the mic. So I was like,
And it's not like a
Yeah.
light grab; it's a big old muscle.
no, dude,
ass
I'm talking about a big old fucking 6'2" motherfucker. They got arms this big. I just didn't even. Oh no, dude, he scared the shit out of me.
But I wanted to ask, since y'all are gonna be doing this for a while, obviously, we gotta get on it for Christmas, man.
Absolutely.
For
Christmas
which-
toy drive.
Oh, toy drive. We could
Absolutely.
Do that.
Hit us up, man.
Do we love shit like that?
Hey, you know what's the crazy thing? So we did we didn't do a toy drive, but I kind of donated to the Bayou Blue Head one
Mhm.
1 year. But look,
It was literally. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It was literally like the biggest, like
where'd
the
y'all
biggest blessing.
where did y'all do? Like which one?
So I can kind of touch on that. So first of all, it's a little bit tougher than you expected.
No
Trying to
doubt.
because you could say you're doing a Christmas drive, but like you actually got to go find a school, meet up with the.
Well, I can tell you this.
people.
Look, as far as that goes, we don't have no problems with that.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
because-
glad I'll have y'all this time.
Yeah,
we can,
yeah.
Take
Like,
care of that.
you're talking-
aspect.
Hey,
You're talking to a marketing
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
right now.
Well,
Right?
look, I got a cool idea though. What I really want to
Well,
do. I'll
well-
tell you my experiences with it after
Well, yeah.
that.
So
do you
what I'll do is for it, my nanny, she's actually really high up in the school board with the entire Assumption Parish. She knows people in Terrebonne and LaFouche, yada yada, whatever.
Yeah.
Any contacts that we need to get within schools, we can support the whole Assumption, the whole LaFouche, whole Terrebonne.
Yeah.
And like we about putting up the money for something like that. Cause like, look, we give money to all these different organizations and stuff. And I'm not gonna call out it, but I already know one of the organizations that we donated money to last year. I know they're not calling our phone this year. And because of, one of the guys that we actually got rid of. He was
Yeah.
actually on the first podcast, but he's just related to some of that family. So I know they're not calling us to go and do their stuff. So you know what? You're not gonna call us to go do your stuff because this guy didn't work out with us and he didn't want to do his job. That's fine. We're gonna go in and we're gonna put our money in the places that we see beneficial to
Yeah.
us and them.
And
No,
s-
go ahead.
oh
my
no,
bad.
I'm
No,
sorry.
my
We're
bad.
both going
Yeah.
back and forth.
No, what I was gonna say about the
Yeah, you
toy
go.
drive thing was crazy. So we kind of did a little thing, and I'm not gonna mention the one. Like, look, it was good. They're doing a good thing, But it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I was like, you know what? I want to do one of this, but I thought it was gonna be more involved.
Yeah, no, I wanted to
Wait,
be
no, this is
our brands, your
no,
brand.
this is not even that. I'm not worried about the brand. Look.
Well,
I'm doing it for the people.
You're
But
right,
look,
you're right. I'm
no,
sorry.
but
You're
no,
right.
but no, but,
that was very, very egotistical
no,
of me.
but no. What I'm saying
That's
is, I'm not even looking for the representation. Look, I wanted to be able to see the kids' expression on their face when we were handing them this toy.
And that was the best part, man.
Well, look, so it was spur of the moment. Okay, one Christmas, I'm like, guys, look, we got some time. I was like, let's go shopping at Walmart. So, dude, we went to Walmart. I had like 3 or 4 guys with me. We went to Walmart, dude. We had buggies and stuff. Look, when we walked out of there, it was $1,500 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We bought all kind of stuff. So I go to this place and like where they want to drop
They just
off.
took it, yeah.
They were like, okay, thanks.
Well, no,
And I'm like,
And so
I'm like, wait, hold up. I'm like, I mean, that's cool, but like, where's the kid? Oh, well, no, we're just gonna like, they just come through and take. I'm like, if I'd have known that, I would have just kept all the stuff and we went. Hey, I got a cool idea. We're gonna take one of the next time. I want to go and like find an area or somebody or family.
No, this is how it is.
Right.
This is what you need to do for it, and I'll give y'all the way how it's gonna be done and how we're gonna do it. My nanny, she is involved with these schools. She knows about the parents in these districts that have the lower incomes and that can't support the kids.
That's how kind of ours worked. So
correct. That's how you get around at Austin about finding the right people.
We did it with Thibodeau Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
And because my mom, she's in the school industry, so she
so she probably gave you some connections to that.
And basically, the lady picked out 25 kids that were, like you said, kind of in need,
struggling,
very much in need. And I started up a GoFundMe, and I had a goal of $1,000. I felt like $1,000, at the time, but it was probably like 20 episodes in.
Dude, that's $1,000 is a look. Don't get it twisted. Look,
it's a lot. That's the
me,
point I was gonna get to.
To me, at this time in life, $1,000 is like a fucking $20 bill to me. Just to be real.
Yeah.
To him, a fucking $1,000 probably $1 bill to that motherfucker.
To me,
I mean, come on, dude. No, be real. You all right? Look, not even trying to blow your head up. Not trying to like talk about nothing, but like he's dealing with $100,000 transactions, $1 million transaction cranes and shit, right? At the end of the day, a fucking $1,000 ain't much. But to these other people though, that right?
$1,000 a lot.
It's a fucking what?
It is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money to somebody who needs the money and who doesn't have to support their family. I
get what you're saying. And so we ended up.
But where I was getting with that, I'm sorry, and this is the last time I'm gonna cut you on that one. But where I was getting with it is that's why we're happy to help out these people, right?
Yeah.
That's why, because we're fortunate enough to be able to, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly. And so we ended up raising like $2,500. And so basically what we did, took the money, went to Walmart and Target and Homa, and that's what I was gonna tell you, man. You don't realize like
$2,500 goes.
It's a lot.
It buys a lot of stuff.
Oh, it buys a lot of stuff?
Bro, we made like
I thought it was gonna go by fast.
No, we had like 4 or 5 buggies full of stuff.
So
like,
we went through the first time. We got a bunch of stuff.
That's awesome though, dude. That's awesome.
We bought a shit ton of stuff. Literally, I was thinking like, damn, like,
you about to spend a bag.
I might have to pull out my debit card. And she said it was only like $600. I'm like,
oh fuck, I need to go fill out more money.
I'm like, bro, we're gonna have to like go to different stores, like go. So we got it all, got all the toys. Shout out the team, Steve's friends who like helped us like put it in gift bags and stuff.
Is Steve and all going to want to do it again this year?
I'm sure he will. Yeah.
I mean, we can all collab on it. I'm I'm serious. Like we really are about that because like I really do want to start doing things because my biggest thing is that I help out all these other companies and all. Well, now it's time to start helping out my own companies, right? We do all that stuff. We need to help out the people who take care of us, right? So like Austin's companies, like I want our things to be involved and people knowing that we're putting these things on, not that the whole foundation of yada 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 is putting this on, and then you go in and you drop off fucking $2,000 worth of toys and you don't even get to see the kids open them and shit.
And that was like the best part about it, bro, because Steve didn't get to come with me because he had work, but me and some of my friends, because I couldn't drop them all off in one truck. So we went and we brought them. They called them out from class or whatever, and like, bro, like their expression.
No, dude, these kids.
It was so awesome, and like even the principal pulled me aside. He was like, "Look, like some of these kids probably wouldn't have gotten anything for Christmas.
No, dude,
and
look,
they literally
each
got so much.
You think about it, people don't understand that.
I seen this shit firsthand, and it's really sad. So my nanny, she's high up in the school board, right? Whatever. Well, look, shout out my nanny. Me and my nanny, we had these differences and stuff between us, whatever. But at the end of the day, whenever she finds these kids, she falls in love with these kids, right?
Yeah.
No, like I'm serious, like falls in love with them, like where she was buying like Christmas toys and stuff for like 10, 15 different kids that's just in her school, just from her out of her money. Because she's fortunate enough to have the money, right? Her husband works a good job, my uncle, right? So they were just fortunate enough, but they do that stuff on their own, not even through the school board or nothing. Like just because she loves these kids so much, she's a third grade class or whatever, and this kid goes home. Dude, this kid don't even know if he's gonna eat fucking supper at night sometimes. I'm serious.
Yeah,
like one of the little kids that she took over that she got Christmas gifts for, he would frequently go sleep at her house because she knew that if he would go home at night, his mom or dad or whatever the fuck was watching him was not giving him a meal at night, whenever. So she had him go sleep at her house
it's
frequently.
It's crazy, and it's funny you say that because we got a shit ton of candy for them too, like buku candy. I was literally like, they're gonna be on a sugar rush. Like,
let them be on a sugar rush. They probably don't get it much.
They got like each got like a 2-pack of the 12-pack candy canes, like the Starburst ones.
So y'all found a group like that, or y'all did a whole family, like
no? So
families?
like I said,
they went to the school.
Yeah, we went to the school, and
that's
how I was telling you that we were.
Okay,
that principal, like, she was like, "How many kids do you want to help?" And I was like, "Well, 1,000. I could probably get like 25 kids." And she gave me a list of names of how old they were.
So y'all kind of had an idea.
So we had an idea. Okay, so we're getting presents for 15 little girls that are 6, 7 years old, and 10 boys that are 6, 7 years old. So that made the process a lot easier, but definitely got to run it back. And it's great, like, having other people too, because obviously, y'all are gonna be able to put up some money.
No, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll probably put up 2,500 just myself, just on something like that, just because.
And so just having that, like, that's gonna help out so much.
Yeah, bro. Like at the end of the day,
oh yeah, we could do some cool stuff. Like, dude, like literally, I envision like
this motherfucker can have a crane dropping off.
No,
like,
dude, no, you know what we're gonna do?
You can dress up as Santa.
That's what I'm saying. Drop it off with a fucking crane or something. Bro.
We're gonna get. I'm telling you, we're gonna buy a giant Santa sack and just fill it up and put it on the gooseneck and drive. Everything's in it. It's gonna look like the thing on the fucking. No. What's the cartoon? The Grinch. It's gonna look like the Grinch on the back of the fucking
thing.
Not
the gooseneck. Let's redo your So he got a little fucking thing downstairs. It's a little John Deere.
We can make it look like a sleigh.
Reindeer sleigh, dude. That would be perfect. He got like a little thing that we could like literally drive up. We'll give the kids some fucking rides in the sleigh.
Look like a sleigh.
Nah, for real though. Like I'm serious.
We gotta make sure we hit all the schools. Like you said, we can get Assumption, the food.
Oh, we could do like this parish and all the parishes around us.
Yeah,
that's what we'll do. Because I mean, if you really think about it. I mean, just an Assumption, they have 4 different schools of people that would need. So what, Terrebonne would probably be like 6 or 7 or something around there.
We're gonna get it right though.
Yeah. Fucking keep the hometown. We're even roll through Back Basher for sure.
Yeah, Back Basher, sure. Yes, sir. Back Basher for life. I'll say Back Basher for life, but I'm not gonna stay there. Like, that won't be my place.
Well, look, what time we coming up on the episode right now?
40.
All right.
All good?
No, I mean we talked for about an hour 30, hour 45. It just depends.
Didn't even feel like a.
I know, right? That's why I tell
people. It's so crazy.
I tell people, dude, and I tell people that all the time. That
we talked about that on mine too.
I told you that. Like, well, I mean, and I didn't know how it goes with other guests for you and everything, but like just for me,
it could be 20 minutes one episode and an hour 20 the next.
Yeah. Like, because
yours wasn't even my longest episode.
Really?
Not even close.
I thought it was going to be.
Look, one episode, we talked for 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's wild. Like, we're just like, what?
Well, no, I just kind of saw my guys and I just kind of saw they kind of been making a few hand signals just to let me know kind of what's going on. So,
yeah.
But I'm not trying to cut us off. I'm not saying anything like that at all. I'm just saying, is there anything else that you want to touch base on or anything that we haven't talked about? Just.
I think we kind of covered it all, to be honest.
Is there anything that you want to bring up that, like, besides like the toy drive thing or anything that you want to talk about, let people know? I mean,
besides subscribe subscribe to Enjoy Life for
Shout
sure.
out.
Yeah,
Enjoy
shout
Life
out
Uh,
Enjoy Life
Podcast.
But
Podcast.
I guess the last thing that I'd say is, first off, thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely,
Like I
man.
told you on the pod, man, time is the most valuable thing we have. So just for y'all to give me this hour and 30 minutes, that's a blessing. And third, of course, just congratulations to y'all because I understand the struggle. And so to see all this and see what y'all got going on, man, it's awesome. That's all I can say is
Yeah,
awesome.
appreciate
And
that,
I
Yeah,
man.
give
thanks,
y'all
man.
all the flowers for it.
Appreciate that for real. I think that we're gonna see nothing but successful things from your podcast. I mean, at the end of the day, who don't want to enjoy life?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
and
dude,
I
look,
thank
I'll be
y'all.
honest. The craziest thing until you meet somebody and talk and hear their story, like I didn't know.
What the
But it
fuck
all
was going
ties in
on?
together because I didn't
Yeah.
know your background story.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know what you like. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's cool. It ties it in.
No, for sure. And this was fun. I had a great
No,
time.
we gotta run it again.
Yeah,
Oh, look.
Look, what
already.
I really want to do is you're already doing your own podcast and all, but we need to have you as like not as our guest, but you need to come be a guest host. And you need to come.
Well, not
talk.
even
Yeah,
that, but
just
like
let
we
me
talked
know.
about, we're gonna start kind of doing some other things. So we got a couple plans. Should we mention what we're gonna be doing, or just let it happen?
You
You
can.
could say it off.
Well, no, I mean, we'll see.
I don't give a fuck. Me, I like
so, like-
spoilers. Me,
So no, like,
let's
look,
spoil the fucking shit up, baby. Let's spoil this bitch.
so like, kind of like we're gonna be starting doing like some kind of vlog shit, like kind of
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
doing
yeah.
some different things. Like we're gonna,
Yeah.
We trying to go. No, we really trying. So like Austin has a big property at the back of his neighborhood. He has a big old fucking pond that they can ride jet skis and shit in the bitch. He already did. So he got a
but
zip
like we can do some
line.
cool stuff.
He's building a zip line. He got
Look,
a
man,
farm and fucking
You
shit.
got my number. Give me a
No.
call.
We literally about like we're honestly we're about to start cutting up. Like these guys in the studio, they're laughing and shit right now. They're looking and all, but like they don't even know what's about to be coming. Like we're about to be filming. We're about to be cutting up. We're gonna be doing like a little vlog series, kind of like how
That's
we see
awesome.
some other creators, kind of doing their content. Because at the end of the day, man, we have a lot of shit to talk about, and we have fun doing the podcast. But it's just like,
But
at
like
the
you
end of the day,
said, shout out again, enjoy life. It's all about that. Look, you only live once.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we want to make the most of it and do some shit
Definitely.
and let people see what the fuck we can really.
But
make
honestly,
happen.
man, let's get together. I mean, talk about. I mean, what would you say? Midpoint, maybe right after the summer, right? Kind of.
What for the Christmas stuff?
Yeah.
To
we'll
start putting things together.
Yeah, I mean, that
'cause
give us
I
enough
felt like I
time.
started mine kind of late. Like I posted about
need
it
to do
right
it around
after,
June or July.
right
That's
after
what I'm saying,
Thanksgiving.
kinda summer,
yeah,
kinda
so
Like
it definitely needs to be earlier.
July, August, I would say probably realistically. That way we can have a solid 4 months ahead of time before December.
No, I agree
Cool.
for sure. But we're gonna get it done.
Hell
And
yeah,
Do you want to shout out your handles one more time before we end, just so people can know?
for sure. So YouTube, Enjoy Life Pod, Instagram, Enjoy Life Pod, and TikTok, Enjoy Life Podcast, Spotify, Enjoy Life Podcast, and go check it out for sure. We talk about some great things and great things to come over there. Just getting started, really. So stay tuned.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life. And once again, thank you guys.
Thank
man.
you, Casey, bro.
That was
Thank you for
awesome.
having me.
That was great, man.
Appreciate
I
it, bro.
appreciate you guys so much.